Put up your dukes. Time to get into the ring with Rita Braver.
I'm revealing all of you. Who's the greatest? I'll give you one more chance. Who's the greatest? All right.
A rugged sparring partner tosses some heavy leather at the champ, forcing him to give ground.
Muhammad Ali is considered one of the greatest boxers of all time. But he also packed a punch with artworks, like this 1967 drawing called The Crowd, seen from his perspective, looking out from the ring.
And some are smiling and some are frowning,
I love
right?
that part where he is acknowledging that not only did he have fans, but he might have had some haters as well.
4 of Ali's works are prominently featured in the whole exhibition devoted to boxing. Winners, losers, and everything in between.
It's big. It's bold.
And curator Arden Sherman says the show here at the Norton Museum of Art in West Palm Beach explores a host of different aspects about this most accessible of sports.
It's rare to encounter a human of a certain age on this planet that doesn't have an understanding of the sport of boxing.
Artists do seem to gravitate toward boxing. There are more than 100 works on display here.
And you know, Rita, this is only a sliver of what's out there, just
Really?
a sampling.
There are paintings, photographs, and sculptures, including many by and about women. This work by Zoe Buckman features frilly fabrics on boxing gloves.
And she's someone who is consistently standing up for female rights and female empowerment.
Sherman says the exhibit comes at a very auspicious time.
I mean, I believe as humans, we find ourselves fighting for something or defending another thing. It is a contentious moment we live in, and what better way to express that but through the symbolism granted to us through the sport of boxing.
So the give and take in works like these by George Bellows, perhaps America's best-known painter of boxing, seems to take on new meaning. This 1916 work called Introducing John L. Sullivan depicts not just the famous boxer and the announcer.
And these people, what are they up to?
Right, you know, they're the promoters, the moneymakers, the wheeler and the dealer, the businessmen behind all of this.
The exhibit features some heavyweight artists. There's Roy Lichtenstein's Sweet Dreams from 1965 and Keith Haring's late 1980s painted steel sculpture.
What are the artists thinking, do you think?
I think the artists are thinking about being alive. I think they're thinking about their own identity and how they navigate that in this world. I think they're thinking about love, violence, fantasy, death.
One of the things about boxing and this act of being in a battle is it can be disorienting.
Among the most recent works is a pair of paintings from 2023 by Jared McGriff.
The thing that I think about with these two works is this idea of an internal struggle and what it takes from an internal determination and focus standpoint to reach this level of athleticism.
And that could translate to anything, right?
Correct.
Of course, there are also flashes of humor. Michael Halsband's 1985 photos of artists Andy Warhol and Jean-Michel Basquiat in boxing gear, or Harry Benson's famed shot of a very young Muhammad Ali meeting the very young Beatles in a Miami gym on their first trip to the U.S. in 1964.
He's boxing George's ear, right?
Absolutely. And you know, who would have thought that these 5 would be inside of this ring together and this would become this iconic image of boxing and fame.
Boxing and fame.
Right.
Good line.